Hey YouTube, I want to just talk to you about um, when you get a business, because remember I told you in my first video that I had to quit. I lost my job basically, and I started a business. It didn't work out. So basically, before all the bad things happened, I'm gonna just start with this here. I had to finance a Sprinter van, and doing so, it wasn't the best decision. But I'm gonna start off like this here. I had started my business, and basically, I felt that getting a bigger vehicle, you can make more money. If you have a SUV, you can make money, but not as much as a bigger vehicle, such as a van. Well, in doing so, I was doing good, like I stated in my first video. I was doing good in the beginning, but then it started getting hectic, okay? Meaning that the pay wasn't as good as I thought. Like, for instance, as I stated, you can make $180 a day up to $300 and some dollars a day, depending on what route they have. Now, you got to mind you got people who've been working at that company for courier longer than you. So they probably got the best routes. You coming in, you're going to get the worst routes. You might get routes that you don't even want to go. Like, it could be like to Indiana. If you're in Chicago, I'm speaking on Chicago only, you might have to go to Indiana. You might have to go over the road, like to Wisconsin or Springfield, stuff like that. And those are what I started out with, but that's not what I asked for when I got hired. When I got hired, I was telling them I wanted to stay local. So I knew what I was getting myself into. I was going to be just doing routes, meaning it'd be locally in the area where I live or surrounding areas, okay? But like I said, this one person, he tricked me. First of all, I don't know how I let somebody get me up out of my groove on working when I'm not going to leave one job to quit one for another. I'm going to keep both if I can. And that's what I was trying to do. But what happened was, I was having conflict with not staying, but coming back at a specific time. Like, for instance, if I started at 3:30 at one job, the second job, right? I would get back at 4, sometimes 5, and that wasn't sufficient enough. I'm not used to being late for my job. So I had to put in my resignation for 2 weeks to let them know that I'm going to have to leave. Of course, I didn't tell them that I was leaving for my business. I had to give another excuse. I'm not going to say what it was, but I gave another excuse. God, please forgive me. But anyway, I had to do what I had to do. I had already bought the van. I had the van during the time when I was working. Okay, this is how I got the van. I went to U.S. Bank, right? And this is something maybe a lot of you guys want to hear. Is very informative. Okay, my credit, I build my own credit. So I didn't need to get a credit person to help me with my credit. So what I did is I built my own credit up to, close to 800 on my own. Of course, you got to pay your bills on time. You got to know when to pay your bills on time. You got to make sure you don't have too many credit cards. I suggest people have one credit card when building your credit. You don't need 2 and 3 credit cards. Plus, I have an established credit of buying things like furniture. I had another house before I bought this house. When I was married. So my first house was when I was married. But when I left my husband, I left it with him. And when I was on my own, it took some time. I mean, this is my third time starting over, guys. So things is really rough. Being a single parent, having 4 kids, because You know, my first oldest son, he's no longer here. But at the time, I had 4 kids, taking care of 4 kids on my own. So it took some time for me to get back to the level of what I was used to. Okay? So I'm not going to say it was easy or nothing like that. You know, even so now, with my kids not being here, it's still hard because the economy is kind of screwed up right now, especially trying to get a job or waiting on these jobs to call you. So what I'm trying to say is when I got my credit finally to where I needed to be, right? I went to the U.S. Bank. I had got a bank manager or a banker, so to say. I basically ran down to him, okay, you know, I got a business, and I was all hype, giddy, and everything. I was like, woohoo, you know, thinking like everything was going to go danky-dory. But what happened was, of course, it didn't go that way that I thought, but in the beginning, it just seemed like everything was going great. But I'm going to stick on the story. This is how I went to the bank. I went to the bank. I let them run my credit. It only took like maybe 10 minutes because, as I stated before, my credit score was over 750. I can't say what it was, but it was way over that. So within 10 minutes, he approved me. And he asked, but first, before that, he asked me, he said, how much do you think you want to get? I really didn't know. I said, well, this is what I did. I had to play it by ear. I had told him, well, let me go look for the van that I want. And basically, it took me like about a week and a half to find a van that I want. Because, you know, a lot of times these vans, they be high as heck. That ain't what I really want to say. But they be high as heck, you know, especially for a 2021, 22. So I said, I'm going to get something close to 2024 because I had got it last year. Okay? I haven't had it, mind you, no longer than 6 months. It's about 6 months now. So, you know, at the time, I thought I was doing the best thing. So, yeah, I got approved within 10 minutes. It took me about a week to find the vehicle. Okay, when I finally found the vehicle, and I'm going to tell you this too, guys. Whatever vehicle you want to go get it from the actual dealer. I wanted a Mercedes Sprinter, so I went to Mercedes. You actually get a better deal because they have so many that they have some that they have to get out, and the ones that they have coming in that's new, of course, they want those to be the ones on the flow. So I'm just giving you a little advice. Don't go buy a Mercedes Sprinter from Nissan or Toyota or Lexus. Go to the actual dealer. This is what I've been seeing a lot of people doing. They're not doing that, you know. So basically do that if you have to do that. Go to the actual dealer, whether it be a van, car, whatever, you know. But anyway, I went to the dealer. I had to wheel and deal with the dealer. He was selling it for a certain amount, right? So once I got once I negotiated the price with the manager of the car place, he basically asked me how I'm going to pay. He's like, are you going to make a down payment? Because basically they wanted me to go through them. You have to let them know, no, I have the full check with my banker. My banker approved me. I have the funds. All I need is for you to say, yes, I can get the car or the van or the truck, whatever it is you're going to get. Okay? So basically, we negotiated the price. I told my banker. He said, okay, make sure you let him know, blah, 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 you know, I'm going to have to specifically tell you what he said. He said, basically, let him know what price he wants, so that way I can write the check out, and then ask him whom to write the check out to. Now, I'm going to let you know this here, guys. Don't ever write no check out, something like that, business-wise, to someone in their name. Okay? Because the company specifically says North Mercedes, which is out in Lake Bluff. Always give it to the name of the place where you at, because that's the name it should have on there. So that's what I made sure of. Make a long story short. Okay? Anyway, once I told the banker that, he said, okay, the check has to be here. Bring the check tomorrow and you could drive the truck. I said, okay, but make sure everything is up to par, car wash, shouldn't be nothing to maintain because the car was in excellent conditions. Okay, when I got it, the van was in excellent conditions. I had no problems with it. It was a great driving van. I mean, this van got me through some woods. I thought I was so scared. I was in the boondocks. This van got me through some stuff. When I tell you, and this was in the summertime, the only reason I'm saying that I'm not used to driving in the woods, going past mountains and stuff like that, I was freaking out. Because, I'm a city girl. I'm from Chicago. I'm like, oh, my effing God. Anyway, guys, I did get through that, with getting the check. I had brought the check to the North Mercedes. I'm not sure if I'm saying it correctly, but North Mercedes in Lake Bluff. I brought it to the manager. He accepted the check, and I got the van. Now, mind you, here it goes 6 months later, and I cannot afford it. I made my last payment, guys, my last payment. I don't know what I'm going to do. Now, I'm taking you on this journey on what I'm trying to do, which is I have to sell that van because I can't afford it. I'm paying a 801 note. I cannot afford that with no job. And then working mind you, I'm working part-time at another job. That only helped with other little bitty things. And it's so very hard. Thank God I don't have to take care of a baby or anything like that. If I did, so be it. I miss my kids. I love my kids. But at this moment, currently, I do not have any kids I'm taking care of. But I do have grandkids. I have 2 beautiful grandbabies. That's why I'm doing this here, so I can do something to make something of myself so I can help the mothers for my grandkids, because I really love my grandkids. They're so beautiful. Oh my God, they're so wonderful. I haven't even spent time with my grandkids since all of this chaotic stuff started. But anyway, let's get on point. Here it is 6 months later, and now I have to figure out, am I going to sell the van or am I going to trade it in? Now, how would I be able to trade it in and I don't have a job during the daytime? That's going to be kind of crazy. I don't know how that works. But anyway, it sure won't be trading it in for right now. I'm trying to sell it. The only thing about selling something is, people, they always try to be saying, could you give me a sale? Like, could you make it like 30, 35, 20? What? Do you know how much I paid for this van? Okay. Right now, my payoff is 41 plus. A little under 42. So why would I give up my van, brand new 2023, even though it's like considered 2 years, not really 2 years, a year and a half. Oh, no. Now, what they can do, what I tell them, they could actually call my banker. They could call the banker. They can negotiate something with my banker, because really I owe the bank. The bank is who have the loan is on them. So I'm not paying. Remind you, when I went to the dealership, I gave them a check. So I'm not paying the dealer. I'm paying the banker. I'm paying U.S. Bank. Okay? Yeah, basically, that's who I would have to go through to figure this out on what to do. And all they're going to tell you is not really much. They just want their money. So you have to figure out a game plan on how you going to get rid of your SUV, your car, your van, whatever it is that you finance. And me, I'm just at oh my gosh. See, when you buy something in your business, if you cannot maintain to make that payment, it goes into your personal. So it affects your personal score, not your business. So far, my business and my personal is good because I've been making those payments for like 7 months. But as I stated, the business is not really doing anything right now. Don't get me wrong. I get little odd and end jobs, people calling me still for like contracts, but it's not enough to really, support myself personally or with the business, to make my business payments, to make my personal payments. No, it's not enough. So basically what I'm telling you is, guys, I have to give it up. I have to give up the van, which is very sad because it's a very nice van. It drives really well. I really hate the fact that I have to give it up. I really hate the fact that, that all of this is going on. But I have to hold my head up high and keep it moving. As I stated before in the first video, I have to keep it moving. You can't get depressed, because at least I could say that I tried. I know what it is. If I wanted to do it again, I know what to do. If I wanted to do it on the side as a gig, which a lot of you can do it as a gig, I wouldn't suggest quitting your job. That's why I'm giving you guys all of this information. I wouldn't suggest quitting your job. I wouldn't suggest you getting a van first if you're going to do the courier. I would suggest that you use your vehicle you already have. The only thing about it is, if you have, like I say, from small to large vehicle, the smaller, the less money, the bigger, the more money you make. That's just how it goes with the courier, And then, far as you getting contracts, as I stated before in my last video and in my first, I said that I have information. If you want some information on what companies have contracts, or if you want to ask some questions to me about anything pertaining to the courier, I give you whatever information I have. Full force, realistic, not something you seeing on YouTube and people just telling you anything. I'm telling you things that I had to experience and what I went through. And then you'll see for yourself. But basically, I can only give you what I experienced. I can't give you something that I never experienced. So you will not get that out of me. You will get the truth out of me. Anyway, I'm very, very sad that I have to let the van go. But at the same time, I'm looking for jobs. As I speak now, I was on my computer, and I was basically searching for jobs in my field. So that way I can have something during the day and still keep my part-time job. I'm just one of those type of people. I like to work. If I'd have known about this when I had my other one, my other job, it would have been good, but the hours would have been conflicting. So I don't think I would have had done it. The only reason I had got this job, my part-time job, is because I was working my business as a courier, and I had to go to a particular place to pick up a package. And this girl was telling me, they hiring. So I would have never thought that I was going to be working where I'm working at. Believe me, I feel very, very low working there. But at the same time, you have to be thankful for what God give you, because, it could be worse. I could not be having an income. I could not be having anything coming in. I just wouldn't have nothing. And I really don't have that much. But something better than nothing, right? I'm just at a low point right now, where I'm really going through it. And like I say, I just got to give up the van, and I got to figure out. I'll let you guys know in a later video what happened, with that vehicle, how things go, because this really is the last month for me to have it. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, guys. I'm really, really just out of suggestions. If you know anything, comment below. Let me know. Let me know how could I go about taking that back. I had it about 6 months now, probably going on 7 months now. What else I could tell you? Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out if there's any females or males that know anything that I don't know when it comes to buying a vehicle and you cannot afford it. I don't want to personally take it back. I don't want to personally turn it in, because voluntarily taking it turning it in, I think that's like a bad thing on your part. I don't know. But I'm going to call to make sure I ask my banker what should I do. I guess that's the best thing to do. If anyone out there know, please let me know. Because I'm trying to figure this out. I really don't know what to do. But yeah, guys, that's the story. I'm about to lose my van, about to turn it in or trade it in. As I stated, I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but something got to give. So, yeah, that's the end of this story. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Please, guys, if you do anything that would help me to move my algorithm up, put me out there in the rhythm as I was before, I would appreciate it so much. Thank you so much. Bye.